Morning. My name is John Moorehead. I'm the president of the association. You're all very welcome. It's a great pleasure to see you all in Belfast. We return here after 35 years. The last time we were here, Belfast was a little bit different. Hard hats and flak jackets were probably compulsory. I'm glad to say that things have now changed, and those of you who've had time to go around the city will see there have been a lot of changes for the better. Belfast is very much an up-and-coming, thriving city, and I think this new extension to the waterfront hall is a sure sign things are definitely on the up. This venue has just been completed, and I'm delighted to say that the paint is dry, the toilets flush, and everything else seems to work. So we're delighted to be the first and opening act for the new waterfront. I'd like to thank Jeff Fenlon, CEO of the Waterfront, and Jerry Lennon, CEO of Visit Belfast, for the enormous amount of support they've given the association in organising this event this year. This year, as always, we're sharing the event with the Association of Trauma and Military Surgeons, but for the first time, we're sharing the event with the surgical chapter of the British Transplant Society. If you've had a chance to look through your programme, I'm sure you'll agree it's excellent, and I think there's something in it for everyone, regardless of your specialist interest. So I hope that you have a good time at the conference, and also a good time in Belfast. Could I ask you to try and make a point of visiting the trade stands at some time? As you know, we are terribly dependent on industry for the success of meetings such as this. So any visits to the trade stands are greatly appreciated by the exhibitors, so please try and do it over the next 3 days. You may have noticed in the trade exhibition that there are 6 Formula One simulators. They are there for you to use at your will. There is a prize available at the end of the week for the delegate who gets the best time on the course. And this is a weekend for 2 in Belfast, courtesy of Visit Belfast. All the money received will go to the Surgical Foundation, which is the charitable arm of SGBI. With that money, we sponsor overseas bursaries. We bring surgical trainees from sub-Saharan Africa to our Congress, and these young doctors also get a chance to spend some time in a local hospital. They find this an incredible experience. They really appreciate it, and it has become a hugely valued bursary for these people. So I would urge you to try and support it in any way you can. So have a go in the simulators at some stage. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our local health minister, Simon Hamilton. I should point out his name is not Hunt, so he's you can be nice to him. Simon was appointed to the post of health minister last year, having previously been in charge of finance. So we're delighted to have him present here today. And Simon, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Mr. President, for your for the introduction and also for the invitation to give the opening address to the 2016 Association of Surgeons of Great Britain and Ireland International Surgical Congress. You're all very welcome to Belfast and to the excellent Belfast Waterfront Hall. Your Congress is the first international conference event to be held here since a multi-million pounds renovation and extension. Over the last number of years, the Northern Ireland Executive has striven to attract more visitors to this part of the world, and this wonderful new Waterfront Hall will assist us in attracting more conference and exhibition events like your Congress. I understand, as the President has said, that this is the first time that you have had your Congress here or have been in Belfast in over 30 years, and I trust that with world-class facilities like this and a bustling and vibrant city, that it won't be another 30 years before you're back. Ladies and gentlemen, you join us in what are exciting times in health in Northern Ireland. The need for reform, big spending boosts, and how we can take politics out of health were all front and centre in the recent Assembly election campaign. Whoever is Health Minister in the new executive which is currently being formed, they will have to translate that debate and discussion into delivery if we are to overcome the immense challenges that we face. The challenges facing Northern Ireland's NHS are no different to those facing other health services in the British Isles and beyond. Northern Ireland's population is growing. The number of people living here has risen by 20% since 1971. We are also getting older as a nation. By 2061, it is estimated that 53% of our population will be aged 65 or over. It is great that we are all living longer and also on the whole living happier and healthier lives. But there has also been a related rise in chronic illness, with over 1/3 of Europe's population estimated to have developed at least one chronic illness since by 2010. We're also well aware of how unhealthy lifestyles are placing untold pressure on our health system. Poor diets and low levels of exercise, for example, are contributing to increases in obesity-related diseases and diagnosis of type 2 diabetes, bringing with them additional pressure on our services. Another significant development in recent times is the profoundly positive impact that innovations in fields such as genetics, biotechnology, and many aspects of surgery have had on our capacity to survive many diseases. Our ability to conquer previously incurable conditions improves all the time, but these technological advances come at a considerable cost. A growing and ageing population, a rise in chronic conditions, unhealthy lifestyles, technological advances and scarce resources is a heady cocktail that no health service has truly got to grips with yet. The challenge can sometimes seem insurmountable, yet in spite of the difficulties that we face, I remain optimistic about the future of health and social care in Northern Ireland. In his recent report on the health service in Northern Ireland, Sir Liam Donaldson said that, quote, "The Northern Ireland Health and Social Care Service must not be satisfied with good enough. With everyone working together, it could be amongst the best in the world." I believe that he is right. That's why we have already embarked upon the biggest shake-up in our health and social care system in a generation. The objective of this long-term plan for Northern Ireland's NHS is to build the world-class system that Sir Liam Donaldson indicated in his report was possible. The aim of reform should not be to make savings, but rather to make health and social care more efficient and thus more sustainable financially, and above all else, to put the patient at the heart of a system that produces better health outcomes for our population. We have set out how we will remove an entire layer of unnecessary bureaucracy from our system by closing the Health and Social Care Board. We will continue to realise the vision set out in Transforming Your Care, which was published in 2011. It included 99 proposals for change across the range of health and social care services. Around half of the recommendations have been implemented already, with the vast majority work in progress. Some of the key areas in which work is being taken forward include establishing integrated care partnerships, ambulance service alternative care pathways, which are helping paramedics to avoid transporting patients to hospital and are expected to reduce emergency department attendances by 6,000 in this year alone, and an investment of over £1 million in the DNAV project, which is helping 700 type 2 diabetics who require insulin in the South Eastern Trust area to improve their blood glucose control by using assistive technology. But perhaps our boldest step forward will be the work being undertaken by an expert panel, which we are fortunate to have chaired by Professor Rafael Bengoa. The panel was established to lead the debate on how we create a sustainable way forward for the future provision of health and social care in Northern Ireland. It has produced a set of working principles which I am confident can help us to produce the blueprint that will transform our health and social care system into an exemplar in Europe. I firmly believe that Northern Ireland's already integrated health and social care system and our relatively small size gives us an advantage over other parts of the United Kingdom when it comes to trialling reforms and innovations. Reforming our health service is by no means an easy task. It will take time, it will certainly require resources, but above all, it will need the determination and dedication of everyone who works within our NHS in Northern Ireland. Politicians should set out their vision for a sustainably financed health and social care system that puts quality, safety and the patient at its centre by providing world-class outcomes for our population. But we cannot deliver it without the support of our doctors and nurses and our staff. We must listen closely to our clinicians and work together to transform our NHS. Working with organisations like the Association of Surgeons of Great Britain and Ireland and others will be the key to successful reform. Ladies and gentlemen, our health and social care system was designed in a very different era to deal with very different problems facing society at that time. We need a new model fit for the challenges of the 21st century, one that is more efficient, more productive, and embraces innovation, one that realises the full potential of our integrated health and social care systems, one that addresses health inequalities in our population, one that is built upon the cornerstones of quality, safety, improving outcomes and care in the right place, and one that is anchored at all times to the founding principles of our NHS. I thoroughly enjoyed my time as Minister, and I consider it one of the highlights of my career to have been able to work with the men and women who work in our NHS. Their devotion to their job and the people that they serve is an inspiration. I am proud of what we have been able to do together in taking steps towards establishing Northern Ireland's first air ambulance, also establishing a world-leading mental trauma service and the first infant vaccination programme for meningitis in the world, as well as charting the course for the reform of our NHS. Discussions on a new programme for government in Northern Ireland and indeed a new executive are ongoing, and my party stands ready to continue and conclude our reform agenda in health over the next 5 years and indeed beyond. But whoever has the honour of leading our NHS in Northern Ireland as a new minister has a huge job on their hands. They will have to secure a spending increase for health that will allow short-term issues with waiting lists to be addressed and also to help finance reform. They will need to develop a decade-long plan for the reform of our health and social care system that implements the vision set out by the expert panel. And they will have to endeavour to do all of this in a way that ensures that the patient and not the politics is the sole focus. Some will say that it is an impossible task, but we must all put our shoulder to the wheel and assist our new minister to make the changes we need to put the patient first and create a truly world-class health service. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for the opportunity to speak, and I wish you all a very successful Congress. Thank you very much.